Okay, so election is jumping in India. Okay, so election time has come, and it is a kind of everywhere the discussion is about the election. One party is leaving another party and joining, one candidate is leaving another candidate and joining another party. So we have the oldest party as Indian National Congress. So Indian National Congress is a party that struggled through the Indian independence from the Britishers, and they chased away the British. I mean, this is what we are hearing. Means we are probably third generation after the independence, or second generation after. Means we have not seen anything. Now it is communicated to us that Indian National Congress is a party that chased away Britishers, and life was gloom. Life was very bad when it was kind of dependence on someone. So we were ruled. So Indian National Congress was a party that was established by pro independent movement people, and they fought against the Britishers. And then, but this is not the only thing that we are being told, that it was initiated by the Indian Postal Service, Indian Post Office. That was so. Whatever comes, if you see the pamphlets of Indian National Congress, they are floating like so many jobs we will give, because the things are getting destroyed. Whatever we have given to the country, like Indian Railway, Indian Postal Service, or in the radio, that is the radio, or earlier there was a telegraph service. There are many departments that is kind of the reason that is given for those departments, that they are not being run nicely. There is no employment, nothing, and we have been conducting so smoothly post the independence for 70 years, giving a job so nicely and running a department so nicely, that we have created, and things are not smooth. So we have proved that in Indian Railway was initiated by Britishers. So 1839, I believe, when the freight train or goods train that commuted in Madras, in Chennai now, it is Madras, or the passenger service from Bombay to Thane in 1853. So one 1839, one 1853. So Indian Railway is more than 100 years old than the independence happened. Indian Postal Service also 1854 it started. What about Indian National Congress? The party itself was started by a Britisher, Alan Octavian Hume. Alan Octavian Hume was a person who was a civil servant, who was a, nowadays we can call it IAS officer, Indian administration. Even though Indian administrative service is also old, earlier it was, I think, Imperial Administrative Service. When in 1947, when so-called independence happened, then from Imperial it became Indian. So Imperial Administrative Service become Indian administration. Everything is happening, all examination, everything is happening from the British regime only. So one civil servant, British civil servant, who joined the kind of northwest province of the British regime in India in 1839. Okay, so 1849. Okay, so 1849, he joined Calcutta. He arrived in Calcutta, and then he joined the northwestern province, and he was posted in Etawah. So that comes in western Uttar Pradesh, Etawah. So he was district magistrate in Etawah. A. O. Hume, Elan Octavian Hume. Okay, and that person was a district magistrate, and he saw the rebellion in 1857 also. 1849, he joined the service, and 1857 he saw the rebellion that happened. It is also called as the first movement of independence, whatever. The insurgency that happened locally, that he tackled, and 7 people he sent to gallows, to for hanging also. So to gallows also. So he was a district magistrate, and in 1871 he became secretary level, means he promoted to secretary level, and 1879 He was demoted, and in 1883 he was retired. So he was a full-fledged British civilian and British civil servant who came from Britain, and he worked thoroughly in India as a British employee. And even though he was demoted in 1879, but he continued his service till retirement. Okay, but he is he is kind of he along means he wrote to letter to the graduates of Calcutta University in 1885. There was like Congress. What is the meaning of Congress? Congress is English term, and its meaning is like to make meetings. So various representatives, if they sit and do meeting for some common gain, that is called Congress. So the Calcutta University graduates mostly. So he invited them, and in the Bombay, they had first meeting in 1885. So the Congress, Indian National Congress, it was established by a civil servant, British civil servant, Elan Octavian Hume, A.O. Hume. There is nothing on its own. India is a poor country. It has nothing of its own. Postal service, Indian Railway service, to airlines. Now it went back to Tata. Earlier it was Tata, then it came to Indian Airlines. To All India Radio, then telegraph. Everything was started by Britishers. I would say they felt pity on Indians, poor Indians. Means when they saw that in world people are enjoying railway service, so they initiated railway here against pity on poor people. Postal service, okay, all in the radio, everything. They felt that Indians they also have some kind of they should have also have right to enjoy. So they initiated those things. They also have rights. So what A.O. Humes, Elan Octavian Humes, what he has stated that Indians have right to run their country on their own. I won't say he was pro-Indian or he was pro-Britisher and he was a dogmatic person or he was a tough ruler, whatever. He showed pity on Indians. Since he was a district collector, then secretary, he was a king. Okay, so he was a kind of a king who can do anything in the district level. He was highly powerful person. So he was considered as pro-Indian, but he established many schools in Ottawa. He was running kind of free schools also. He was a pity on local poor people. India is a poor country, so he established a kind of organization who could speak to the British officials for their own rights. For that, Britishers came forward to give right to the poor Indians. That is Indian National Congress. It was established by a Britisher civil servant, A.O. Hume. There was another Britisher also. He was a co-founder. Okay, so his name I'm not getting some. Okay, there is another Britisher. So there are two Britishers. One is A.O. Hume, and I believe some uh, some Burn. Okay, so I think some Mr. W. some W, some Burn. So there was another British, and he was the kind of did he headed the Congress meeting in 1889 and 1910. Both happened in Allahabad. He was also a civil servant. Okay, so he joined Sindh area that was part of India in Pune office in 1860, and he both A.O. Humes and Mr. Burn. So both they returned to England after their retirement because they were Britishers for the sake of a kind of sympathy on the poor. They should not get tortured in the hand of Britishers for very long. This was their good nature. This is, I would say, and they established a party for these poor, and that became Indian National Congress. So they could speak to Britishers in some manner. Britishers, they conducted elections. First election happened around 1935. There was presidential house, and then a parliament house prior to the independence one. Everything was constructed prior to that one. They did everything. I don't know how a party established by Britishers changed Britishers. Indian National Congress, so at least they had some shame. And in 1873, I believe they declared, or they released a postal stamp in the name of A.O. Hume, A.O. Hume, Elan Octavian Hume. Okay, otherwise there is no name. Indian National Congress, they never revealed that their party was established by English civil servant. And he was not pro-Indian the way it is called. He was a kind of a person who had sympathy. He was a person who had interest in birds. He used to collect birds. Means he was a kind of ornithologist. So, so Indian National Congress, the way they show their posters from Mahatma Gandhi and then Motilal Nehru and then Jawaharlal Nehru, and these people changed Britishers. The party established by Britishers, they changed Britishers. All the departments, they were established by Britishers. We are being told that it was established by Indian National Congress, and they are behind all the departments, and they are running all the departments. So take care.